Hey friends, let's take this beautiful rice paper from Decoupage Central and make a really cool busted canvas. So I'm just going to cut out around my edges of my rice paper. I am applying my Mod Podge to the back of my rice paper that I'm going to be applying to my canvas board. So once I have that all on the back, I'm going to get it where I'd like it on my canvas board, and then I'm just going to smooth that out and we're good to go on to the next step, guys. I did start to distress this, and then I decided that I needed to go ahead and put on another coat of Mod Podge and let that dry so it had its sealer on. And then I just took my heat gun and lightly went over it, around it, so it would dry. And I used matte Mod Podge, so it worked out perfectly fine. Now I'm just going to take my Distress Oxides and go around the sides with some brown and some black. This isn't a necessary step. I just did it in case part of it would show when I did my busted canvas. Overall, this looks super cool, just like it was, guys. Now I'm going to take a piece of tissue paper and I am just going to wad it up in my hands, and then I am going to get it back out like you see here. And then I'm going to take some Mod Podge and put it all over our canvas. And then once that is completely covered on our canvas, you can see I was going all different directions just to make sure that it's in all those threads. And then I'm going to take that tissue paper again, guys, and I am going to lay it down onto our canvas, and it's going to be lumpy, it's going to be bumpy, and that is exactly the look that I'm going for this outer piece. Remember, we are not going to see much of this piece, but I love this technique, so I do it whenever I can, and I think it goes perfect with this project. So I'm going to apply another coat of Mod Podge on the top, and I just let that dry. Once it's dry, I take my sander and I sand off the excess. It does not mess up my canvas. I use a high grit around 140 to 200. Then we're going to flip that canvas over, cut it to size. We are going to apply our Mod Podge again, guys, and we are going to lay down this fantastic paper. If you don't have it, you need to grab it because it is amazing, guys, and it is really big, so you get a couple projects out of it. We're going to apply another coat of Mod Podge. Remember, it dries matte. So we're going to flip that over. We're going to go do a little butterfly real quick using some fast casting resin. We're going to use A and B. It's equal parts to A to equal parts to B. And we're going to stir that for 30 seconds, which I sped this up so it wasn't actually 30 seconds for y'all. And then we're going to pour it into our molds. It takes about 10 minutes to set. And I did pour more than I needed for this project, but I always try to use what I have. So I went ahead and made some extra molds. As you can see right here, it is starting to change before our eyes, but we are going to put it to the side so it can completely cure or get ready for the 10-minute use, guys. So now I'm going to go back to the front of my canvas that we laid that tissue paper on, and I am going to use some Tim Holtz Distress Oxides. It does have some places that were heavier in other places, but remember, we're cutting this, so when we cut it, we're really not going to see it because we're rolling back those edges. So everybody has different preference on how many parts they want to their busted canvas. I like mine in 4s. Sometimes I'll do it with more, but especially on the bigger canvases, I like it with the 4. So here you see busted canvas. That is where the term came from. Don't worry if it doesn't meet in the center, guys, exactly perfect like this one, because you're going to roll those back, and when you roll that back, you're not going to see that you had a little bit of imperfection in your cut. That will be disguised once we roll it back. So now I am going to take my hot glue, and then I am going to lay my canvas board onto my canvas, and there is our image. So now I'm just going to fold back these little busted canvas parts, and I'm going to hold them. And y'all, you have to be patient with this. Remember, the Mod Podge is not completely dried. We've put a lot of Mod Podge on here, so we need to be patient with the hot glue process. And just remember, it may not adhere your first time, and you may have to go back and do it again. It just depends how wet it and that moisture when you're actually applying that glue. And now I'm going to take my butterfly. I use some Rub and Buff in black and gold to get it exactly how I want it. I did play with this for a while. I edited some of it out, guys, because like I said, it took me a while to get my desired look. Then I hot glue it on there, and we are good to go, guys. I absolutely love this project. This is probably one of my favorite that I've most recently done. So if you wouldn't mind giving us a like, share, and comment, and we'll see you again soon with another DIY.